Welcome back to the Tangle Town project, and we're going to follow directly on from the townscape that I drew earlier. So what I've done is I've transferred these ideas and changed some around a little onto this sheet of watercolour paper here. Now I've split my paper into two with a line down the middle, and this side has a sun and this side has a moon. So as you might expect, I'm going to treat the two sides quite differently. On this side, I'm going to add lots of warm colours, and these are my watercolour pencils that are warm colours. And on this side, I'm going to add lots of cool colours. These are blues and greens, and these are my watercolour pencils that fall into that category, and that one there. So you can see that they are quite different. Now in the middle I have two pale yellows which could go on this side and become cool, or they could work with this side and become warm. So if you've got any pale yellows, very pale yellows, they tend to go in the middle because they can go on either side. I wouldn't recommend adding pinks into this because sometimes the pinks are on the cooler side, and purple, also a dark purple, may be cool, or a lilac. But if you have a reddish purple, sometimes it's a little awkward to see where it might go. Possibly this side, possibly that side. We'll just leave it to one side. So we're going to begin by adding colour to the warm side. Let's push those to one side. And we're going to start by colouring in the edges of all the buildings. And you're going to want to put a good amount of watercolour on each edge. And you'll see why when we come to wash in. Now I'm going to mix and match my colours because that will make it a bit more fun. And I want these edges to be really nice and bold. So this house I'm going to outline in red around the edges. And I'm going to swap colours. So I have some variety and add a different coloured red there. And then I'm going to swap colours again and add another type of red here. Now watercolour pencils tend to be quite soft, but that's good because it means you can put lots of pigment onto the page, and that's really important for this project. When you sharpen watercolour pencils, be very careful not to over sharpen them because the graphite in them is very soft. It's very easy to sharpen them down. But if you find that your point is disappearing, then you might well want to give your pencil a bit of a sharpen for this project so that you can get nice sharp lines. Now I need to be very careful because my line is here and sometimes I forget, and I want to make sure that I don't go past it. Now if you're like me and you might forget, you might want to put a piece of paper there to remind you not to go past your line. And this just calls for a little bit of quiet concentration, but it is lovely to see the colours all begin to come together. And when you come back, I'll have done a little more.